Hi everyone, and welcome to the webinar on QAQCR. My name's Sophie and I coordinate the marketing for Maxwell. You may recognise my voice from previous webinars that we've done in the past if you're tuning in again. And so a big thank you to everyone for coming back, but also a welcome to anyone that's logging in for the first time. I've seen some new names on the list, so that's great. I have with me today Jerusalem Hale, who's a Maxwell database administrator, and she's going to take you through a basic breakdown of QAQCR and really why you should utilise a QAQC solution within your project. And that will be followed by a brief demonstration of QAQCR as our QAQC solution, and just show you a couple of things that you can expect from the current version 2.3.1.
Thank you, Sophie. Hi, everyone. Thank you very much for coming. Like Sophie stated, I'm going to take you through the basics of QAQCR and then see some tips on taking the best out of the tools, and we'll see what the newest upgrades are. To begin with, QAQCR is it's a tool that helps achieve good assay quality management, and that is by establishing processes, systems, and checks to minimize errors during sampling and analysis process. So our main errors arise from sampling and also in the process of analyzing it. QAQCR has got 4 components: quality assurance, QAQCR has got 4 components. That's QA for quality assurance, QC for quality control, reporting and reviewing, and we have continuous improvement. Quality assurance is the systems and policies in place, and that's to ensure the service or product meets specific needs. It focuses mainly on, in the future, how to eliminate the causes of errors, like it's helped us to prevent collection of poor data quality in the first place. QC is the statistical tools that is in place. These are used to check the services or products are really meeting the specific needs. So it's about monitoring and detecting incorrect measurement systems and corrective strategies. That's to minimize future repetition or continuation of detectable problems with quality. Why do we bother with QAQCR? So in the first place, we need to make sure that we have to have QA, which is the quality assurance. We need to have good sampling method, good analysis. But how do we control it? We use the QC, that's the quality control method, so the tools. And then we get these reports. So we need to achieve and maintain and optimize confidence in our assay results. So if we don't have confidence in them, then we cannot use them to do anything. We need to use them so that we can demonstrate conformance with the JORC or SAMREC guidelines, as well as statutory compliance with NI 43101. We also need them for reporting for resource evaluations, and also monthly, quarterly, and annual reports. Using all those informations, then we need to improve our methodology of sampling and analysis. So assay management requires ongoing examination of all relevant processes and systems. That's with the aim of removing source of error, quality degradation by identifying problems and improving systems using the QAQC report. To do QC, what should we measure? And how do we find out what is causing our problems in our assay results? In order to find out, we need to send standards and blanks, as well as comparative assays. We need to find out the particle size, and also the lab turnaround, that is the date that we send it and when they received it, and the job date as well. We desire for our assay results to be unbiased and of acceptable precision. If you look at the chart below, as you go to the right, we've got high accuracy and then upwards with high precision. So our aim is to have the value like D, like high accuracy and high precision. So those standards, we normally send 1 in 20 standards and duplicates, and as well as blanks, so that we have a normal distribution of samples to make our conclusion. So if we have to find out if they are coming to the center, that we need an accurate result. So we have to send standards to check the accuracy. And to find out the precision or the repeatability of the analysis, we send repeats, and we see that if they are on the same spot. The standards are used for verifying the accuracy of the measurements by comparing them with a known grade value. The common mistakes that we make are we assign incorrect standard type to standards. Mislabeling is a very common mistake, so we sometimes find outliers and we check and we see that the expected result is of another standard. Another one is also assigning wrong expected value to our standards. So we have to be careful when we are doing this. Absence of standards may cause overestimation of our grades. It could also lead us into underestimation. Both sides, it's not a good thing. Blanks also help us verify accuracy, and that's by monitoring contamination. We have to make note of the analytical detection limit, because when we say it's below detection limit, and if our analysis has got like 0.3 is the minimum that it can detect, then we will have 0.3. So when we are replacing in datasheet, when we are replacing these values, we either put as a negative value or half of the result. So when it's below detection limit, we might have up and down charts, but everything's below detection. But because we replace it with a number, it will give us a different chart. So we have to make note of the analytical detection limit. We need to carefully select our blank materials as well, so that it would be representative. Tips. What is like when we are using QAQCR, it's a good practice to separate lab standards with client standards. Client standards are very specific to our assaying samples. Like if a client is doing iron ore mining, then you would use some representative standards to gold mining companies. So, but the lab standards cannot be that much representative. So it's a good thing to separately analyze standards from the lab standards and the client standards. We need to eliminate outliers when calculating statistics. Yeah, we have to make sure to do that. We have a filter button in QAQCR. We can filter out below detection limit if we don't want to see them, or outliers, and also not sampled samples, because they will be written as -5556. We substitute them with the numbers. So we need to remove those numbers, those values, before plotting, doing the statistics. Plot by date when encountering plenty of bad results. What happens is, if you're plotting your charts, your standards analysis, and you'll see sometimes lots of outliers. Try to plot it with date, and you'll see you might have some sort of conclusion that it happened in such a period of time, in a limited period of time. It could be associated with some specific time. So it's a good thing to do that. Check outlier batch number and compare other results of the same batch and see if there are other problems with the batch. And this is when you're plotting, if you encounter bad repeats, bad standards, check also the repeats, check other parts and see if the same batch number has got different problems, and then you can come up with a conclusion that that batch number should be accepted, rejected, or re-assayed, or you can come with a conclusion on it. Repeats. So repeats are used to determine precision of analytical methods. We have got several different kinds of repeats. It could be field, duplicate, or umpire lab, or lab checks. These all vary in their analytical stage. So the field duplicate helps us to see if our sampling in the field is representative. Like if we are doing a good job, then we will see that the field duplicates will be highly precise. And if we are taking the lab checks, so it will tell us if the lab is doing a great job. So we need to identify at which level we are measuring those standards. So document what each repeat type is testing. That's why we need to document what that repeat type is, so that we can identify at which level the repeats are making the analysis. All repeat samples must be correctly identified in the database with repeat type. So we attach the repeat type alongside with it, which is this list of repeat types for duplicates. So then we will be able to identify at which analytical level these measurements are made. Ensure all lab repeats are correctly configured. Plot all repeat types in a separate chart. So one repeat type does not represent the other one. Like we cannot plot them together and we cannot come up with any conclusion. So it's good to plot each repeat type separately. Document what level of precision is required for different repeat types. We expect high precision in lab checks than in field duplicates because the errors, we expect a big variance in the field than in the laboratory. So we have different precision. Consider reporting using grade range as well, because high grade, there will be low variance. Because even though the variance is big, due to the big number, you will have a small difference because it's an average. But with the small ones, you get a small one, but when you look at the percentage, it will be big percentage. So we cannot judge by percentage. We need to be careful on which grade we are talking about. Use a consistent approach to checking precision from one period to the next as well. Furthermore, we have got more functionalities. Lab turnaround. We need lab drop date and lab receive date to find out if the lab is analyzing our samples in a specific period of time. Accepted and rejected batch summaries. This is available for clients who are processing requests to manage the batch status in the database. So after checking all the results, like if we have all those standards and duplicates, then we will decide that if that batch to be accepted, rejected, flagged out, or whatever we have. So we can change the setting in our batch status table. Then we will see the charts in QAQCR. Results chart. It's useful to compare results between different elements, mostly clients of mining in rare earth elements. They have got those signatures to plot, like to compare what kind of signature that mining ore body has. It's a very good tool to plot and see a relationship between different elements. These result charts, they work best and fast with small amount of data, such as batch by batch, so the comparisons are clearly visible. Otherwise, if you plot 10 batches or more than a big number of batches, then you will be crowded. You cannot see any clear image or anything. Before I go to the release notes, I'll take you through the basics of QAQCR just to have a look at here we've got our QAQCR. Lab loaded date. We specify the data by project and then data sets, and you can change the batch as well, date, and laboratories. Here we've got a color on the right side. So this color shows us which batches contain field duplicates. I'm going to select all and process it. So the next tab, which is the standards chart, it's very useful to just plot. It's very handy and easy. You can plot your standards batch against the value, and you see outliers, and you can filter those off and redo the process and redo the calculation. We have the summaries at the bottom, right bottom. And also we get all the data on the standard values. We have the same part for repeat charts. We have lists of different kinds of charts to plot against. and we can compare by sample name, code, or element name, and we can plot original against all sorts of different repeat types. We have also screen test. So this one helps us, looks at the particle size of prepared samples as a measure of the lab sample preparation technique. And we can plot those parts as well. Then we have got a batch summary, which is got lab turnaround and accept rejected batches. I'm going to just go quickly flick through those. For those of you who are new to QAQCR, I just want to show you what the tool can do. Here also, this is the results chart where you can plot normal results, sample results, and you get the results value here. And we have we can interactively change the graphic options. To take you through the upgrades. The first one is QAQCR, the window size, the minimum window size has been set to support laptops with screen resolution of 1024 by 768. So now it fits to those small computers as well. Do not display. Yeah, it works. Sorry. And the second one is, here we've got how many? 394 batches. It's not a lot, but when you're selecting more than 1,500 batches, the processing becomes a little bit slow. So especially when it is trying to process it with a colored disk tray, because it needs to identify which one's got field duplicate, which one's got any different, all sort of standards or repeats. So in this version, it will give you automatically a warning message. It displays a warning message so that you can allow the tree to be displayed without color to improve speed of batch selection. The third one is QAQCR version number is included on the main window and error windows to reduce need to supply the QAQCR version number when requesting assistance. So you can just reply and you don't need to provide the version number. It's included in every page. And the next one is in the repeats chart. On the MAPD, it's going to plot the duplicate with this one. This is the MAPD chart for those of you who are new. This chart plots the percentile against the MAPD percentage. So it gives you that. So this chart tells you that 84% of the assay results have got less than 25% variance. So it specifies the percentile passing percent, MAPD threshold value is 84%. So if you're plotting all repeats, now the level is gone because you used to have a level here, but for different charts you've got different levels. So that's been removed because it was not relevant when you have more than one repeat type selected. And also here the grade ranges are specified on the header, 0 to 100. So in the old version we didn't have that one. And it's also specified within that grade range how many samples you've used that has been analyzed. Summary details are also at the bottom. So using the interactive chart include a total of points for the selected grade range only. It was also enabled to overcome crashes in various conditions. It's now pretty much very stable at the moment. The old has been upgraded. And also in the edit configuration, This has been disabled because it's making a lot of issues when it's highly customizable that clients keep on changing things and just wasting a lot of their time. So this has been enabled, and from now onwards you won't be able to make changes in this window. But yeah, the basics, it's good enough as it is, so no need to make any changes at this stage. Yeah, so I've covered most of the release, the QAQCR release notes, but if you need detailed more information about this, we can email you. You can request that one, and we can email you the QAQCR release notes. Thank you very much.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you very much, Jerusalem. Appreciate that, and I hope everyone was able to take something away from the demonstration.